evening. It's 8:18 on day 2 of the 2022 X-Pyr race, and I would like to give you an update of what happened today. So we woke up this morning to rain, low cloud, very cold weather. Given that we had a heat wave in Europe, and especially in Spain and the south of France last week, the temperatures are really quite bitter. So for basically everybody, the day began with a hike along the road. Most of the pilots chose a northerly route with the shortest distance towards turn point 2. Many pilots in the end managed to have several short flights to get a break from the tarmac and to make the hike a bit shorter. But a lot of people hiked around 40-50 kilometres today. So for most people it was a long hard slog on tarmac, and there was a lot of very tired looking pilots that we passed today. So when it got closer to turn point 2, there was a distinct split in the pack. Most pilots went north, led by Maxime Pinault, and a few went south. Maxime Pinault has actually led the race for nearly the whole day. So when he got close to turn point 2, he walked up the northerly face of the hills and decided to try and fly past the turn point. Unfortunately, he landed a little bit short and then had to hike up to the turn point to tag it. But he managed to fly again and managed to continue on. Now, Kriegel Maurer and Noé Court, our youngest competitor, they have been inseparable throughout this race so far. They have done they arrived at turn point, they left the start together, they hiked up La Rune, turn point 1 together, and they have been inseparable ever since. They've camped together at night, and they've done the whole race together so far. So they went up on the southerly side, and they were joined by Simon Oberrauner and later by Tim Malongi, and they managed to hike up to the top of the ridge and found that cloud base was only about 1,100 metres, and the top of the ridge was actually in cloud. So what they decided to do is to walk back down the hill where they came from until they were at the edge of the cloud base. So their intention was to fly to the turn point and beyond. So they didn't want to have to walk again, they wanted to do the whole thing flying. So they took off, and they did precisely that. They tagged the turn point in the air, Tim Malongi and Simon Oberrauner too, and then managed to continue flying a little bit and landed in rain. So since then, there have been various complaints from competitors and a lot of comments from the folks at home saying that they broke race rules. So there's now been an investigation by the race leadership, and they have they had a conversation with all the affected pilots to find out what they did and how they see what happened. And Noé has provided a video to show that they were in sight of the ground at all times. A race official who was there on the hill with them, also confirmed that they walked down until they were in the wisps of the clouds, and that when they took off, they were in sight of the ground. Now, in flying in cloud, it's a relative thing. But when you're in sight of the ground, it's not classed as being enveloped in cloud. And so it's been determined that they did not break any race rules and that they are clear to continue with the competition. So, many pilots are very close to turn point 2, will either reach it this evening, but there's still time to do it, or they'll get there tomorrow morning. Now, the conditions for flying tomorrow are looking good. Everybody's quite excited not to have to walk so much from tomorrow, and that they might make a lot more progress tomorrow in the air. So it was actually a very good thing to push as hard as they could in these 2 days to get as far as they have to actually make progress. Because, of course, from tomorrow, between turn point 2 and turn point 3, they have to cross if they take the direct route along the route, they have to cross the National Park of the Pyrenees, which has significant airspace. There's areas where they're not allowed to be below 200 metres above the ground or 1,000 metres above the ground. And that's going to make it very tactically challenging, especially if the weather isn't optimal. So there might be some people who will go around it. If it's really good, they might go over it, but that'll be tomorrow's puzzle to watch. So the forecast for tomorrow is looking much, much better. We're hoping for some sunshine, less rain, a bit warmer weather. And one mention to one of our latest entrants, Rob Curran, who replaced Sander Meyer. We passed him 3 times today, always running. He leapfrogged several people today, and we were just so impressed with his ability to move fast over the ground and get himself into places to take some bunny hops. So tune in tomorrow at www.xpyr.com and follow our social media channels, our videos, and get all the information from the live tracking. Night night for now.